Welcome back to RSF Radio. I'm your host, Joe Monday, and this is part 2 of a 3-part artist special. You were just listening to a great conversation with ZombieRaptor, but in part 2 I sat down with Maddest Mal. So without further notice, this is part 2, Horny Dudes Control the Market. I'm sitting with someone now you might know as the Shitpost Queen. That's right, it's Maddest Mal, aka Mao. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good.
So I wanted to talk to you about the life of an artist in the FGC. What, from your perspective, is the place of artists in the FGC?
I think artists are kind of important, you know, seeing as Street Fighter is such a character-based game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we make content around these characters and people love these characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we make things, it resonates with people, right? Like, I just made this silly little comic at the request of Shuckle. You might know her. She draws the funny little Akumas.
Yes.
And it was a little comic about Urian's disgusting throw range, and people empathize with that, and people like that. And I think artists in that way can convey something like that in ways that other content creators might not be able to. And
might be able to give a voice to some
give a
idea
voice to
or thought that
concept.
might be pervasive through the FGC.
Yes, precisely. Stuff like that. And because these characters don't exist in reality, you know, it's up to artists to maybe explore that character deeper, or, like, you know, bring out a certain quirk you think they have. Because they're not actual people. You can't go out and meet Jury. You can't go out on the street and say hello to Guile. So other people have to bring out what's in those characters. And you can do that, like, for players, it's through their play style. And for artists, I guess it's just how we draw them.
Yeah, that's a good point, because really, even specifically in Street Fighter V, the story of the characters is really limited.
Yeah, it's quite sparse. I think there was a lot more character expression in Street Fighter 4 in that regard. Like, when you did the arcade mode with a character, you had cool little, like, specially animated cutscenes with your character, and your character had, like, a rival cutscene. And they were all nicely animated and cute. That kind of exists in Street Fighter 5, but, like, the animations were certainly not given as much love.
Right.
And the general story mode is iffy at best.
You can say that it's pretty whack. I've gone on record saying that I think it's super bullshit.
Look, I liked
there are
it
times
because
where
it was
I
like
think
so bad it was good.
Yeah,
so bad it was good. That's how I felt.
I don't know if it registers like the room level of so bad it's good for me. I don't know if it's quite.
Right.
I don't know if it tracks that way, but I can kind of get behind that, because it gave us such gems as, oh, you must be one of those muggers.
Oh yeah, you a mugger. Yeah.
And that's the only time Alex shows up.
Yeah, asking if Dawson is a mugger. Lovely.
Capcom still being problematic in 2018. I love it.
Yeah.
And they'd find brand new ways to do awesome bullshit like that. Even though, I don't know, man, the story mode, yeah. I'm going to go off on a slight tangent, because I don't know if I've said this on this podcast before, but I remember the first time I played through it. And after, I think it's the first or second fight, there's a good 10, I want to say 10 minutes of cutscenes, and within that 10 minutes, there's at least 2 or 3 points where I think that a fight could have happened, or at least like could have been a part where the player plays, and I was like, wait a minute, did I like press start too fast? I got like really confused and concerned of like, wait a minute, did I miss something? And then I was like, oh no, this is just bad.
Damn.
I just had that moment of realization.
I mean, like, I'm not saying like it's of any like actual good quality. Like, something about it is endearing to me, because it's like, it's about as bad as like a Saturday morning cartoon, just like a really long one, right? That's kind of how I felt about it.
Fair enough.
And of course, I've never touched it like since the first time I played it. So like, this is me looking back into the brain fog of like 2 years ago when it came out. So
yeah, to be clear, me as well. So that we're looking back on like the 1.5 year. Actually, no, it has been like 2 years. It's coming up on 3-year lifespan. Pretty cool. Anyway, so sorry about that little derision here. To get back to the placement arts, but you're right though that. And something that I guess I hadn't considered, but it gives a little bit more life to these characters, especially when you think about what people look at these characters for since like the Street Fighter 2 era. They're pretty pervasive in popular culture, where a lot of other people and a lot of other artists have really taken liberties with these characters and what what their personalities are, so to speak.
yeah, exactly. So that's something unique that I think artists can do, and like artists can also not give personality, but like accentuate the personality of like players almost, I would say, because Richard Suno, I'm not sure if I've said his name right, but he does a lot of artwork. Like when a player like wins a tournament, he'll draw like a special piece of like them personifying their character or something, and stuff like that I think is pretty valuable. I mean, it's a nice thing to do for the person who won, and I think it also helps everybody else kind of celebrate because they can retweet and all that.
Yeah, that's a good point. The one he did for Big Bird was actually really incredible. Did you see that piece?
That was when he had Luigi, but he was Rashid, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
The Akuma Boo, yeah. I like that one a lot. That was really cute.
Yeah, it was. Because that was when Tokido was beaten by 2 Rashids.
Gachi-kun and Big Bird, right?
Yes. Yeah. So like that, though, as you're saying, that is very specifically artists giving kind of a different take on a character based on like what happened in real life between real players. Kind of accentuating the quote-unquote storyline of the FGC.
Yeah. Exactly.
Really, very cool. Okay, then. Moving on to the next topic, though. Speaking of art and what you think about the FGC art, do you think that work is sometimes undervalued within the FGC? By people who might consume it?
Sometimes, like in general, like in the whole scope of things of being like an artist on social media in this age, trying to like make it, like art in general is greatly undervalued, but within the scope of the FGC specifically, I'd say it's slightly less so. Like I actually lately get a lot of people asking me if they can use my art like for their Twitter header or icon before they actually go and do that. So I think there is a slight shift going on where people are like, oh, this person kind of worked on this and I should give them credit or something, or at least ask permission before I go and take this and use it. Where, back a couple of years ago, people didn't think twice about that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's actually surprising for me to hear you say that, because that had always been my opinion, that people would just take and use it because you're sharing it online, because you want to share your work online to get the message out of your art. And I guess like to kind of gain a following, you have to do that. But at the same time, your art is just out there.
Exactly. It's out there and anybody can take it and they don't have to credit you or anything. But
which happened a lot. Or do you still see that happening today? Is that still an issue?
Oh yes, it's still a terribly pervasive issue. Like repost accounts are a blight upon an artist's life. Like,
so what exactly is a repost account?
A repost account is like an account that maybe has a certain aesthetic, like it's like a curation of works that all have a sort of theme or kind of fit together. And basically, like, this person curating this account, like, they can account for their own taste and that people also want to see that sort of similar thing over and over again. But when they repost these things in their little collection, their little museum, rarely, if ever, do they give credit, and oftentimes these posts take off, right? And all these likes and all these retweets are not helping the original artist whatsoever, because there's no name attached to it more often than not. Either there's no name attached to it, or like there was a signature and it's been scrubbed because somebody has no life and wants to get likes and retweets for internet points as a substitute for like an actual talent or a hobby, right? So we don't like repost accounts. Don't follow them. If you see something from a repost account that you like, you might try to seek out the source and then appropriately give credit, and then, give the finger of shame to the repost account.
Reverse image search is a
reverse image search. That is a thing you can do. Sometimes it doesn't always work. So like in the event like something can't be found through reverse image search, like the source can't be found, like there's nothing much that can be done about that unless you like really want to dig. But the general sentiment here is that repost accounts that do not source or link back are bad. If they source and link back, that's fine. It's acceptable. It gets the message out there while sending anybody who might be interested in more of the same content back to the creator.
Yeah. I've seen some pretty egregious stuff myself. Specifically what you said about taking off whatever like watermarks you might have. Like either blurring them out, which is like, why the fuck would someone even do that?
I know.
Like, I personally can't even put myself in the mindset of someone who is trying to do that.
It
kind of blows my mind a little bit.
Like, it is mind blowing. I don't know. It's just people who have nothing better to do with their lives, like so devoid and empty of joy that you have to like actually steal something that somebody put heart and soul into and claim it as your own. I don't know, that kind of shit is just like pathetic. Get a hobby. Try to do something with your life instead of being miserable. I don't know.
So do you think that in some way hurts your bottom line?
As an artist, like people like taking like not my shit specifically. I'm sure somebody has reposted my art somewhere, but like it does hurt the bottom lines of artists. Like it is genuinely harmful.
Okay. Well, let me I guess dig into that part a little bit. I guess something that would be good to get out of the way for you to explain, but what, as an artist in the FGC, do you have a specific goal? Is it even in your, like, in view for you to be financially supported by your art? Do you have any pursuit of financial goals, through your art, or this is just something that you do for fun?
Oh, goodness. I'm not really sure myself, honestly.
Yeah, sorry about this, like, life. hey, what's your plans for life?
Yeah, I don't really know.
What you thinking about in 5 years?
Geez, boss, I don't know.
What's your 10-year look ahead look like?
I really like drawing. Like, it's a lot of fun and it makes me happy. I'm not currently, like, financially supported by, like, art that I do in my free time, like art that I like to do. Like, I make art every day. Like, I work at a sign company and I design signs. So, like, that's more graphic design than anything, though. I don't do a lot of illustration for that job because, well, I just don't, I guess.
It's part of your career to put signs together.
Yeah, it's part of my career to, like, make an appealing design, right? And that financially supports me, but it's not hardly at all related to, like, the work I post on Twitter.
Right.
And that's where I get most of my joy, like drawing silly drawing Street Fighter characters and all that.
No one's asking you at work to draw shitty Kirby drawings.
No, God, I really don't know why, because I think I'm quite good at it.
Fair enough. Let me ask you this then. Do you take commissions for your artwork? Or have you in the past?
I have taken commissions, and, like, I do, but, like, incredibly circumstantially, Um,
Is there a reason for that?
I don't enjoy drawing things that I don't want to draw.
Fair enough.
So, like, I want to draw Street Fighter characters. I want to draw Yuri, and I want to draw Kuma and like Yang and Makoto. I like those characters. I'll draw that for you all day if that's what you want. If you want me to draw a picture of Juri or Chun-Li, anybody from Street Fighter, except maybe Abigail, I'll probably do it.
You don't like the Abigail aesthetic?
No,
He's two
I'm
Kens
not.
tall. How can you deny? My big beefy boy, he's two Kens tall.
I don't like any character that's taller than Yuri, and honestly, it's emasculating, isn't it?
He's quite tall though, so there's not a lot who fall under.
Sagat is taller than Yuri, and
You don't like
and,
Sagat?
you know, it's nothing personal with Sagat. He's just
I mean, you are saying
to
this
take a
into a
peek.
microphone. This is going on the record. People will have this forever of you saying that you don't
just
like.
need to shave a couple inches off him.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
Nothing personal. He's just taller than Yuri, and that was his mistake. Like,
That's on
I don't
him.
know.
That's
Yeah, that's his fault.
okay. But back back to the point though. So that does make sense that taking commissions for things that you don't have you taken commissions for things you don't like to draw, and what was that experience like?
I've like, just because, you need money sometimes, and we've not always had like a stable job, so you gotta, supplement your income somehow. I like taking commissions to draw like people's original characters, right? And that's always a toss up because some people have really great OC designs, right? Some people not so much, and it's like, yeah, I'll draw this, but I'm not gonna have fun doing it. And the thing is, when I get paid to draw something, I always want it to be my best work possible because you're giving me money for it. So like, I want it to be really good, which means I'm gonna spend a decent amount of time on it. Which means I'm gonna spend a decent amount of time looking at your DeviantArt OC that you made 10 years ago. You feel me?
I do, because I feel like there's that end of it that people don't seem to understand how long good art can take.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like,
to that end, let me maybe pry that. And this is maybe more of a, I don't know if there is an answer to this, but do you think that people, on the whole, let's just say like from a mass number of people, do you think they're able to tell what makes good art from bad art?
nope.
You think that like, let's say a piece that you've put 20 hours into of research, coloring, line work, all that stuff, versus something that you've made in 2 hours?
Like, it's difficult to say because it depends on the piece, honestly. Some pieces just have that spark to them, you picked a good composition, you picked a good color palette, you picked the right subject. What makes a piece take off in the eyes of like, mass amounts of people, laymen who might not like actually know what goes into art, might not understand the fine intricacies of art, let's say, right? Some pieces just, you have a perfect storm and you might not have carefully crafted it or curated it, all the things you put into it. And that might be your like 5-minute sketch that isn't very good, but you happen to capture a certain essence that people like. And then you might have a piece that you spent 10 hours on and you thought about very carefully, but it just doesn't have those same elements. I think that you can like take what works and refine it and like get a formula, if you will. Like, I won't name any artists, but there are artists who know their formula and they just make hit pieces all the time, piece after piece after piece that get like 1K likes and stuff like that. So there is an aspect of it that you can get the essence of the like 3.5K likes and retweets piece. You can boil that down and bring it to the next one.
Is that something that you ever find yourself chasing after? Are
Not
you in it for the likes and
really.
retweets?
Not necessarily. Like, I enjoy them. They make me happy, and it makes me happy that people are enjoying my artwork. Like,
Mhm.
my silly little comic that I made featuring Yuri and Akuma that we discussed earlier with his throw range,
Mhm.
that got a decent amount of traction, and it's no great feat of artistry, you know?
Right.
It's like they're flat colors, flat lines. There was no thought put into, like, composition or anything, right? But it's the idea that carries it. And, you know, it's a funny, right? People like funny.
It's a goof.
It is a goof, and people enjoy the goof. And I'm not mad that that piece has 3K likes and like my let's say my little Cammy Witch drawing that it doesn't have 1K likes. You know, that does not bother me because I understand what's gone into it. And I understand why people, you know, want to retweet that one more than they might want to retweet my Cammy. Like, my Cammy, it's a sort of like, it's a niche thing. It's a Street Fighter character who I, like, threw a witch costume on, and you can only kind of tell it's Cammy because she has, like, pigtails-ish and a scar. Like, I even modified the pigtails a lot, or the braids. Like, they're very thick and shorter than they are in the game, and they have a ribbon in them, so it's like, it's almost tangentially Cammy, but the piece itself I'm quite happy with.
It was something that you cared a lot about.
It's something I cared a lot about. Yeah, I spent a decent amount of time on it, and I thought it was a cute idea. I wanted to draw Cammy holding a little kitty. I thought that'd be adorable, and you know, even if that piece had gotten like 50 likes or something, it wouldn't have made me think, oh, this is a bad piece. You know, it just makes me think, well, maybe it's not something that necessarily has the elements that make people want to retweet something. Like, there are guaranteed ways to boost likes and retweets on any piece of art. Listen to me. Listen and watch.
Here's your
Listen
artist advice on
yes,
how to
artist
gain
advice from Mattis Mao.
Max
Yes,
CPM
how?
from Mattis Mao.
Yes, optimize that shit. Here's how. Color. Like, you as an artist might think, oh, this looks way better in black and white. I think that to myself all the damn time. Things just look better in black and white. Normal people do not agree. Normal people love color. They like the bright, flashy, saturated reds and pinks and shit. Throw that on there. Color your piece. If you want likes and you don't care, just color the piece. Just do it. Use the local colors. Try to, like, I don't know, slap a filter on it. Make it look nice. People love that shit. What else?
Oversaturated color. Something that'll just make you sick looking at it.
Some that pops. Some when you're scrolling down the timeline, you can be like, oh shit, what are those colors? And you look at them and you're like, oh, wow, that's art. That'll get you likes. And boobs. You need to put boobs in your art.
I like the idea of someone scrolling down their time like, wow, that's an art. Just because of they saw a pink that was overly saturated. They just went, oh,
yes,
wow.
It's just what it does. It's just human nature. People see brightly colored things and it's like, oh shit, I gotta look at that. That's what you have to do. And like, if you have those bright colors, right? So have those bright colors on a big, busty anime girl.
Big. So tell me your opinions on that big anime titties. Are they good?
If you like them, and that's your jam, roll with it, dog. I won't stop you. Just
you're not trying to yuck someone's yum here. I don't think.
No, I'm not trying to yuck someone's yum. But if you retweet a bunch of anime titties, I'm gonna turn off your retweets. Sorry. But yeah, like you draw a big tittied girl, you'll get likes, and like it does not matter how good your art is. It does not matter. Absolutely not. If you put big boobs on it, likes instantly. Like, if you're drawing muscle men like me, if you're drawing Yuri and Akuma, stop. Start drawing Juri and Chun-Li and Cammy and put bright colors on them and make sure their boobs and butts are right in the camera. Free likes, free retweets, all day. That's the end of Mao's artist tip hour.
Oversaturation, big anime titties. Okay, I think I see. Okay, that's quite the advice for the the budding artist out there who wants to get that that max CPM. I get it.
Yep. That's what you do. Now, if you're like me and you don't want to draw titties, you don't have to.
So I've seen
You don't gotta.
I've seen recently that you've kind of expanded what you are selling, though. You've gone outside of taking commissions, and I saw this is like fairly recently. You're in the sticker game.
I'm not really in the sticker game.
You're a sticker salesman.
Sort of.
Stickersman.
Slightly.
I mean, I know that this is fairly new, but I kind of like the idea.
Uh-huh.
What was the thought behind that?
Well, like, I made my stupid dumb comic, right? And my silly little drawing of Urian with his eyes bugging out.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny, and I was like, I want a sticker of this for myself to put on something. And so I went on Redbubble and I made a sticker, and I was like, oh shit, I can like let other people buy this too.
Other people could have this sticker.
Yeah. And because like I wasn't about to go to like a sticker website, like a die cut sticker website, and spend $100 getting, 100 stickers cut out, right? I just wanted one sticker for me. That's why it's on Redbubble.
I definitely understand that. As someone who has moved a lot of merch, I don't want any overhead. As someone who like also has a regular job, I get it.
Yeah, I
Overhead's
just wanted
a
one
fucking
sticker.
nightmare.
Yes, precisely.
You just want the
wanted
cute little
one
Uranus
damn
sticker. That's all.
Yeah. And it's like, if you want one too, you can have one.
That's
because that's how like print on demand is, as well as like I might as well.
Right.
At that point, it's a why not? It's only like it costs me nothing to say here. You can buy this sticker if you want. All it costs me is like there's like an extra thick white border around the stickers that I can't do anything about because it is print on demand. Like if I wanted to make the stickers a little nicer, I would have to actually pay money, but I don't want to. So.
Right. Yeah, that is the trouble with things that are print on demand, is that you don't really have a very good like quality control over them.
No, you have no degree of control. You're just like, well, we'll see how this looks.
Yeah, I know. I just recently had two bad experiences with that are not going to go public because of it.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Okay.
Fat asses might have dropped out. We'll see.
Oh.
I know, I was very excited about the fat asses, but
damn.
That design might be out the window because of quality control. But anyway, you've got your cute little Urian stickers out there. People can, I might actually share that in the links down below. So please give that to me after we're done talking, so I can put it in the show notes for people who also want the cute little Urian.
Okay, you got it. There's no Kuma too.
I guess
he's very angry.
Yes, the angry Akuma. So. This question, I didn't prep you on this, but I kind of want to swerve in another direction, specifically with the recent Capcom Connects. It's the show that Capcom US is up to, that they've been going over what's been going on in the CPT every week to week, and also been doing like exhibition matches between top players. But specifically something that they've been doing is sharing art from the community and cosplay. What's your take on Capcom as a company getting behind people like yourself?
I think that's wonderful. Like my art's been featured on there like every week, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's amazing. It's a great way to connect with their fans.
Have you seen like much like any difference in your following from it? Have you seen a difference in numbers on your end?
Not really. But it's kind of that what's that thingy? There's like a ratio or something of like people who will see a thing, people who will click on a thing, and then people who are like buy a thing, right? It's kind of that sort of return, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, that is true.
it's the amount of exposure that like trickles down into returns, right?
Right.
Like if I posted a shirt I wanted to sell and I have a 3K following and then like 20K, like no, not 20K, but 20 people look at the shirt, 5 people put the shirt in their cart and 1 person actually buys it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of that thing with Capcom Connect. Like last time I watched, I think there was about 1,000 people watching when they did the art segment, and like 1,000 people might be watching, maybe like they're busy being engaged, right?
Right.
They might not actually go out of their way to go and look.
It would take effort on their part to leave what they're watching.
Yes.
Type in the Twitter account that they see, which is listed when they show the art.
Yeah.
And then continue down that path.
Precisely. And so like I don't feel like that's like, I don't know, I'm not terribly concerned that I'm not getting mass amounts of followers from that. That doesn't bother me. Like it just makes me happy that Capcom is supporting like their own fan base.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where when I saw them do it, I immediately was like, why haven't they been doing this for years?
Yeah.
Like there's so many people who, like yourself, just like these characters.
Yeah,
like
they
imparting
the
their own
characters.
like feel into the like we talked at the start of when we started recording, was just people like to express themselves through art, through these characters, and it's kind of buck wild that it's taken them this long to at least acknowledge it. But still,
I mean,
cool,
at least they're doing it. Yeah. It almost reminds me of like back in the days of like magazines, right? You know, like when you had
when
Nintendo
you're saying
Power
this,
and
I
shit.
am tracking right with you. Like Nintendo Power, when people could write in with their, here's my very bad picture of a Mario, and it's like, oh
yeah, right. And they put it there and be like, hey, you guys, check out this really bad picture of a Mario. This guy really loves Mario. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah,
and
that was the
Capcom's
front of the
doing that
magazine
now.
right there.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Like, I really appreciate that Capcom is engaging the community like this. It's a great thing to do. And now, goodness, if they could somehow translate the exposure to more, convert that into more returns for the original artist, that would be nice. But I'm not sure how they would do that. Still, it's an incredibly nice thing that they're doing, and I think it's in their best interest to keep doing it because the fans appreciate it, and other people like seeing more content from their favorite game.
Well, to
It
that,
just makes it feel like the company cares.
It wasn't on the last Capcom Connect. They announced there was a contest.
Oh yeah, I did see that on Twitter earlier.
You have to submit your art to it. I don't exactly know I'm not going to go into it and look into it now, but for any artists out there, look up Capcom Connect art contest. You might have like only a couple more days to do it, but I think that there's like, could it be cash?
I think he won a Chun-Li figure.
Oh, okay. There's some
it's Chun-Li in her battle costume.
Okay, there's some amount of like kickback from that, but that's also very cool. It might not be something that you or any other person listening might want, but at the same time, it's like, here's a little bit of incentive just to like submit some art that you might already have done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, sorry for that little sidetrack. Just something that has been kind of happening very recently. They're only on episode like 4 this week. It's only been going for like 4 weeks, but it's every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, they're like supporting people who like give a fuck about the thing that they make. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice.
Okay, so one of the last questions I have here is that a user suggested on our Street Fighter that Capcom should hold a costume design contest. What's your take on that idea?
That would be really cool.
Someone like artists submit their designs, and then Capcom takes that, and then that costume becomes available to purchase.
Oh man, that would be cool, but like at the same time, you know, whenever you say something like a contest that gets put into the game, you get droves and droves of people saying, "Pay the artist," and to a degree, I agree with that. Like, people see that sort of thing. What was it? What game happened at E3? And it was like Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah,
2
Beyond
or
Good and
something?
Evil.
Yeah, and they were like, "You can do stuff, and we'll put it in the game." And people were like, "Boo! No, pay us!" And like, that's absolutely fair. I agree with that. Like, that's kind of a shitty practice.
Yeah.
But in regards to like such a niche thing such as Street Fighter 5,
Yeah, they had JGL out there walking out to say, "Hey, we artists can just do it, like, and submit their stuff, and
yeah,
we'll
do work
use it."
for us for free. No.
To be clear, though, just to clarify that, he was on Twitter after that announcement and said, "Yes, we will pay these people."
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that was something that like that company had been doing, and there was, I don't know what the percentage works out to be for the artist, of course, but that was something that he did. He was like, "Oh, whoa, yes, like Twitter before you blow up." So shout outs to JGL out there, but I'm sorry, you were saying.
Fair enough. Still don't quite agree with the practice of like doing work for maybe money.
For maybe,
Like,
yeah, that's also true for maybe money.
Yeah, for maybe money, like you're working for maybe money. Like you might not get a return on the hours you spend drawing your thing for Beyond Good and Evil. However, with the costume contest, people are going to get mad and say that, you know, Capcom is exploiting artists. But it's like, the thing about making a costume, like having a costume contest for a character, is like people who will design costumes, like they love the characters. And I will say, I designed a golf outfit for Yuri, and you may know of this.
I have seen it.
Yes, so I've had my design, and I've actually been working on a little, like, sort of, like, promotional, like, image series, where I took screen caps.
You're teasing it a little bit, aren't you?
Yes, just a little bit, and it's gonna show off the costume, and tell you where you can get it. But, like, you see, I liked that idea for my golf figurine so much that I was compelled to give somebody money so that it could be real and in the game, right?
Fair enough. Yeah.
And so, like, for Capcom to hold a contest, and they would, like, take your design and say, "Oh, we like this, we'll put this in the game," and do it for free, and give that to a character that you love, like, that doesn't bother me. I think that's wonderful. We could get a lot of good costumes out of it. Because, like, some of the costumes that have been coming out lately for this game are like, why God? This costume is so dumb. All these costumes are made for horny dudes on the internet. Where the fuck are the costumes for the dudes? Where are the male swimsuit costumes?
We got horny ladies.
Where are the
there.
costumes for, like, half the cast?
Yeah.
Why?
Definitely, yeah.
Why does 1% of the cast hold 99% of the costumes? Why Cammy? Why Chun-Li? Why can't it be like the olden days where they give everybody a costume?
I think that they ran the numbers on that and just saw they weren't selling as well.
I know, and it's awful, and
Comes down to I hate capitalism.
No, I hate how horny dudes control the market.
I hate the market because I don't hate the market. I hate that it's just controlled by horny dudes.
Yes. Why can't it be controlled by me?
All right. So all the horny ladies out there got to put the money where
me and Shuckle and Tay. We all gonna give you good costumes, man.
I don't edit this podcast, but I might edit out. Put the money where the pussy is. I might do that.
Leave it. Leave it. It needed to be said.
You hear me, Capcom? All right.
Let us horny girls express ourselves through our costume choices, okay? If you're gonna give Cammy that Fiona costume with that Easter egg code, fuck you.
Very true, because the Easter egg codes for a lot of Urian, for example, great Easter egg code.
Yes, lovely, wonderful. It's great.
It's
Although,
fantastic.
like, when your character like comes out the gate with a nearly nude costume, suddenly it's not about how much you can see.
Mm.
It's about how much you don't see.
That
You
is,
feel me?
I do. I absolutely do, because that's kind of a whole other conversation of, like, nudity isn't necessarily sexualization.
Right. Get me. Like, Urian is way hotter if you just take off the jacket and leave the shirt on, and it's halfway unbuttoned. Boy, howdy, please God, let that be a thing.
Yeah, you just want the
Please.
implication.
Yes, like, that's way better than Urian walking around basically nude.
Yeah,
Way better.
very true. I would agree with you. I think that that's, like, quote unquote sexier.
The suit made this character 10 times better.
Mhm.
10 times.
In agreement, 100%.
Good.
He is a classy gentleman.
Yes.
I would love to drink a 16-year-old scotch with Urian. I'd love to do that. I'd love
That
to
sounds
shoot 18 rounds with my boy.
Don't beat him, though. Do not.
Yeah,
I would
that
not
could
want
be-
to beat Urian at golf. You might regret that.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of person who could hold a grudge. For example.
Yes. You can also afford lots and lots of golf clubs, if you know what I'm saying.
I know
You'll
where that
snap that shit over your head.
know where that 9-iron's going. Okay. No, but I think that basically covers everything I want to talk about within the art world of the FGC, unless there's anything in particular that you would like to share.
I don't know. Keep an eye out for that golf Urian mod. It's really nice. Oh, and wait, also in the works is a vacation Urian mod. You might have seen that on my stream if you ever watch my silly streams. It's in the works. Urian's got like a Hawaiian print what do you call it, shirt on, you know, the button down shirt, but it's open. He's got flippy floppies, he's got sunglasses and a lei on his neck. It's all good stuff.
He's doing the whole Hawaiian vacation.
Yeah, man. He's like, he needs time to chill too, man. He's gotta go on vacation.
He's too stressed out.
I know, he is way too stressed out.
God, like smoke a cigarette or something, man. I guess to that
Don't
end,
give me ideas.
that actually opens up a line of questioning now that you bring it up. But
Okay.
you stream yourself doing art?
No, I stream myself playing Street Fighter.
Oh, okay. Have you considered streaming yourself doing art? I've seen a couple other people do that. I don't think anyone that has been interviewed for this particular podcast has been streaming their art, but is that like, have you thought about that at all?
It's a very common thing, like so many artists do that, but like
Is there
I
issues
don't.
with that? Is that difficult?
It's not difficult. I mean, like it's like performing on stage, right?
Hmm.
And it's not really something I like to do. I used to stream art like back in the olden days, you know. Not so much these days. I just don't like turning my art into a performance. I like to be on my own, listen to the same song on repeat for 2 hours, just be by myself, drawing my silly drawings. I'm sure people would love to watch, but
I think that tracks with a lot of what you've been saying, where it's just something that you enjoy and that you want to do, and anything that might detract from that, get it out.
yeah, right? Like, I might stream with some art buddies or something, some very close friends I might stream to, but it's not really like, I'm not opening up Mao's art theater, watch her draw and redraw the same thing 50 times and listening to fucking Mario's Rainbow Castle from Mario Party 1 on repeat for half an hour. Let's not do that.
That's the zone you go to. That's somewhat revealing, but I enjoy it. I support that.
Yeah, that's where I go, man.
That's the mind space you have to enter to get the art that you make. All right, I get it. I track with that.
Just whenever you see my next hit piece, just realize I was listening to Mario Party 1's Mario's Rainbow Castle track for 30 minutes on end, maybe on repeat.
All right. Well, with that, thank you very much for taking the time. But before you go, I have to ask you a line of questioning. It's a line of questioning I ask everyone who shows up on the show for the first time. It is a 2-part question, and it goes as such. What is your favorite normal attack in any fighting game?
My favorite normal attack in any fighting game.
Could be any fight. Not even it doesn't even have to be Street Fighter related.
Doesn't have to be Street Fighter in any game? Oh goodness. I don't know. There are so many cool looking moves. Ah, shit.
You can name a couple.
Can you name a couple? You know, in Dragon Ball FighterZ, Dragon Ball FighterZ, there's Nappa, and nobody plays him, but he does this cool thing where he knocks you down or some shit, and then he raises his arm up, and he has just his 2 fingers up. I like that move. I don't know what it's called, and I don't know in what instance he does that, but it's really awesome. I wish you could see me. I'm doing the move right now.
The hand is up with the 2 fingers.
Yes! Somebody's gonna know what I'm talking about.
I think that might be his auto combo.
Is it? Because it's his launcher, I think.
Yeah, it launches. I believe that's his auto combo that goes...
I don't know why
I
that
do
move
know
looks so
it goes
cool.
up. It is specific. It is very up.
It is up.
It is up in the way that a Daniel Bryan's yes is. If anyone else who watches wrestling can track with that, it's very upward dimensional. No, that's cool. I would agree with that. That's a very cool looking move.
Yes, this is a cool looking move. Now, I also like just one other move. I like Urian's charged stand roundhouse because it doubles as a taunt. You see, when you press it, he just goes if you just press it lightly, he goes wah, he's just making a noise. But when you hold it, he says imbecile.
Ooh.
And so you can just sit back there and keep pressing that button and call your opponent an idiot.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize there was an audio component to the back hard kick.
Oh no, not back. It's charged stand roundhouse.
Oh yeah, charged stand roundhouse.
Yeah. And it's basically a third taunt. The first being his actual taunt, the second being Saber It, and the third being the charged stand roundhouse.
That charged stand roundhouse, that's something that every time I see it, I'm like, oh, he's charging the move. Better crouch block. I don't know why. I know
the picture.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking. Was that you who made that? Because whoever made that was spot on.
I know. I don't know who made that. I wish I could know, but it was not me.
Yeah, just for those listening, there's an image out there of Urian charging his, and it's a very crude comic of Urian charging the stand hard kick, and then the opponent being like, "Ooh, a move, better crouch block." Then fuck my life. It's an overhead.
It's clearly an overhead.
But you forget every time because it's not always an overhead.
Nope.
He has to charge it for the overhead.
Yep.
Okay, good answers. I like it. To an extension of that question, though, here comes the part 2. What is your favorite combo in any fighting game?
Oh, combo in any fighting game. Oh, man. I don't know. That's hard. Combo, there's so many combos. There's so many cool Aegis setups.
With Aegis setups in particular, it's kind of unlimited.
It's kind of unlimited, but honestly, there's a combo that I just like doing in Street Fighter V, and it's a Urian combo, obviously. So you do forward heavy punch, counter hit, and if you get a counter hit, you can combo into target combo, which is light punch and medium punch, and then cancel that into tackle. And it's just it's very satisfying to do. It gets a knockdown. It gets a hard knockdown, so it's got good Oki.
Let me ask you this, specifically with that combo. is it overhead only, or can it be from the forward medium punch, forward hard punch?
No, it's not the overhead combo.
Has to be...
It's the other target combo.
No. Not the starter of this. Does the overhead from the target combo have the same frame data as just the overhead?
I'm the wrong person to ask about that.
Okay.
I just play this game. I don't know how it works. No, I do understand frame data. Don't get me wrong. I don't know it off the top of my head like that.
No, I believe it does. Because then
I think it does.
It'll put you at +2 on a hit. So if it's counter hit, you'll be +4, which then you can link that stand light punch and you'll be good.
I think so, yeah. But the instances, why that combo is so good. I mean, it might not be optimal, but like Urian's forward medium punch is like one of his easiest meaties, and like he's kind of far away and it moves him forward, so people just kind of like, if they see you at that distance where you're going to use it, they kind of want to press a jab, right? Mm-hmm. So you get that free counter hit, and then you get the God, I don't remember what that target combo is called.
I don't remember any of the target combo names.
It's like called dangerous something, right? All of Urian's things are dangerous or violent.
Violent target combo.
No, because like his knee
combo.
drop.
No, you're right. Yeah, violent knee. Yeah,
violence knee drop.
They just add violence to
it. Like he's violent and dangerous.
You're not wrong. The guy is very one note. Like he would probably love 80s action movies. He's the kind of guy who's just like all about that shit, I'm sure.
You're making me love him more.
Fair enough. And I'm okay with that. But good answers all around.
Yeah,
thank you. And again, want to thank you for taking the time out of your day. Where can people find you on the internet?
On the internet, you can find me mostly on Twitter. I have a terrible addiction, at maddestmao. And if you want to see my art without all the talking about stupid things, you can go to maddestmao.tumblr.com.
All right. Thank you. Thanks again.
No problemo.